I'm back here at the National Firearms Museum in NRA headquarters here in beautiful Fairfax, Virginia, with Doug Wicklund, Senior Curator. And Doug, welcome back to Curator's Corner on NRA TV. Now I'm extra excited, amped for this particular segment because in our pre-game warm-up here, told me that these firearms were made in my hometown, Philadelphia.
Indeed. I'm excited too, John, because these are Sharps firearms, and I'm a Sharps enthusiast. I collect Sharps. I'm a life member of the Collectors Association. But these are a little different Sharps guns, because these were both made by Christian Sharps in Philadelphia after he kind of got fed up with the guys in Hartford that made thousands and thousands of guns for him before and went on to make many more. They didn't like his idea. He said, I can make my falling block design in a handgun. I'm going to make a single shot pistol. And the folks in Hartford said, Mr. Sharps, no, that's not going to work. And well, I think they were right, because there were only about 600 of those pistols that were made.
Wow.
They made about the same number of rifles too. But when you compare that to the thousands that were made for the federal government during the Civil War, thousands of carbines, thousands of rifles, but these ones, just a drop in the bucket in comparison.
So explain, Doug, how it should work and why it didn't work so well. And I hate to admit the guys in Hartford might have been right opposed to the guys in Philly, by the way.
Well, that's one of those things. Connecticut sometimes, you just got to give them credit for something. Not the Philly cheesesteak, though. That's something.
No.
Now, the nice thing about these guns is that they follow right up on Sharps's 1848 falling block. And so that's all you had to do. Drop that lever, and you could put your cartridge in, gun was ready to shoot. Same thing would happen with that pistol up in front. They're single shot guns, but they're fast to load. You just slip in a new cartridge. What's nice is that they have the pellet priming system built into them. They're all set. You could slip in a tube of those pellet primers, and you'd be good for 25 shots, just like that. But their caliber was a little light. They made these from like 31 to 36 caliber. There's a 40 caliber known, but that one's very unusual because it was one of the first mule ear cartridges. It was percussion, but yet it was a metallic cartridge. For Sharps, that was a little bit different. Normally he was paper or linen cartridges. They didn't make many of these guns, but when you look at them, they're small. They're more delicate than the others. They aren't like the massive 50 caliber Sharps that later on went on to take care of many buffalo out there on the western plains. This pistol rifle was entered in 1857 up at West Point in military trials. And the most damning comment about it was, it's too delicate, it's too small a caliber, and they rejected it. So that was the end of that for any hope of military contracts.
Ouch.
When you only make a few hundred of these, that's hard because your military buys a lot of things. It did then, it did now. For Christian Sharps, that must have been a really, really sad day when he got the word in 1857 that the military didn't like this design. Maybe he thought, hey, those guys in Hartford were right after all.
Yeah. Wow.
It's an interesting gun. The rifle has a very, very strange rear sight too. You can pop it up, you can shim it to different elevations. This is the only gun that it appears on.
Wow.
You don't see it on others.
So bad news for him back in the day that they rejected his design. Good news for an enthusiastic collector like you, because there's not very many of those out there.
To have both of these in the National Firearms Museum is fantastic. We get to show both aspects of what Christian Sharps did after he kind of parted ways with the folks in Connecticut and went on to do his own thing up in Philadelphia. These weren't as successful as his little 4-barrel Derringers, but these are still a very, very interesting part of the Sharps story in American firearms history.
Beautiful. Neat. Thank you so much, Doug, for sharing, and another great segment of the Curator's Corner. Thank you, sir.
Thank you.